Welcome back to Orange County's Real Estate Hot 30. I am Lina Fayyad, and next to me on the screen is...
Hi, I'm Holly McDonald.
So we are doing our podcast virtually, as you guys can tell, since a lot of changes have been happening, a lot of disruption. Holly, I hope you and your family are safe and healthy.
We are. Hope you are all healthy and safe at home too.
Yes. So a lot to talk about, to tell our buyers, our investors, our sellers out there. Spring kind of started with a little bit of disruption. We shook our plates. So I guess we can take this time to spring clean our businesses and our homes, get them ready. What can we say to start off this podcast to our viewers out there?
Well, first of all, we hope you're all staying safe and, following the orders to stay at home and are staying as healthy as you can during this national emergency that we're in. Coronavirus certainly took the world by storm, and it is heavily impacting every aspect of our lives. And of course, this real estate podcast is about real estate, but we know it's impacting everybody in lots of different ways, and we hope you're all doing well. But as far as how it is impacting real estate, we are seeing so many changes. And I would say that initially, we are seeing that a lot of buyers are putting their search on pause. And while that may seem like a huge negative for people selling their homes, a lot of home sellers don't want buyers in their house right now anyway. And so we are on a little bit of a hiatus. People are still looking and homes are still going into escrow, but it's at a much lower rate than it had been earlier this year. And we were thinking that the spring was going to be a very, very heavy hitting market, but I think that that's going to be delayed by at least a couple of months, because while everybody's basically in lockdown, it's not as easy to show properties, to get access, and there's just not as much demand at the moment. But the good news is, if you're looking for a bright side, which we always like to do, is that if you are planning to buy a house and you still want to, or if you're planning to sell, this is a good time to get all your ducks in a row, and we'll give you some tips about that, because we will get through this and we will get back to some sort of new normal. And in terms of real estate, there's a lot of things you can do.
Absolutely. And that's why I kind of wanted to, stay on the positive sense and take this time, especially that people aren't allowing, certain, people to view their homes in person. Take this time to spring clean your home and, your space, and get that house ready. And I wanted to touch on showing. So we are considered an essential service now, finally. And then I don't know why we weren't in the first place. So virtual showings, can you give me a little bit more detail? Is it taking a video or a FaceTime, or what can we let our buyers know how this is actually a positive as far as saving time and energy?
Yeah, well, first of all, I do want to say that it was studied already, and Zillow and Redfin have reported that virtual showings have been increased by over 100% in almost all of their markets, because everybody's staying at home, and that being the order, that is the main way people can still view properties. I myself this week had a virtual tour done for one of my listings. I haven't done that before, and I have to tell you, I love it.
Nice.
I think it's really great because, yes, while it's not the same as being in the unit, it is about as close as you're going to get. It is a virtual reality. It does allow you to, it's actually so cool. What you can do is you can kind of toggle your way through the property and get a very good 3D spatial feeling for the house. And then also there's a floor plan that comes with it. So you can very much see the whole layout, as well as do measurements, and you can figure out how your furniture placement is going to work, all the things that you would really be doing if you were looking at a house. And on the bright side, this enables you to actually tour a house without even getting dressed and leaving your bed, and you can do it all from your phone, your computer. And while that may not be enough ultimately, it certainly helps weed out the time and energy of getting out there and looking at properties. And especially in this health conscious time, you're not getting mixed in with all of the germs. So you can do so much of that previewing initially from your own house. And then if it really seems worthwhile, as a serious prospective buyer, then you can make the appointment to figure out how to go see the property. So I think it's, it is an extra step, but it does save a lot of time and energy for all parties because you're just going once you've already confirmed that this is absolutely a property you're interested in.
Absolutely. And I've seen buyers even put like offers on a home without seeing it, and it's just subject to inspection, which means maybe, if you really like a home, the sellers would leave, for example, and allow you that private space in the, near future. But we're definitely seeing, I guess, a shift in how real estate is viewed now in 2020. And I could only see it changing furthermore from now on.
Well, I do want to say that 10, 11, 12 years ago when we were in the last market slowdown and there were a ton of foreclosures and short sale properties on the market, I had clients that made dozens of offers subject to interior inspection because, quite frankly, homeowners weren't always in a position to let people tour the property. And it was, again, a very low inventory market, and there were a ton of buyers out there. So people were just throwing out offers, and most of the time you didn't even get interior photos. You got a very vague description that said like, fixer-upper, or maybe it said that the house was updated, but that is even subjective in some cases because one person's updated is newly updated and one person's updated is 20 years ago updated. So people were making their offers and negotiating the terms based on not even seeing the interior. Where we are today, there is so much more technology, and obviously that's going to improve as we move forward. But where we're at today, it is very easy to get a pretty full picture of the property. So it's not even hidden. So if you make an offer, you have a much better idea going in what you're offering on.
Absolutely. And I really think we're going to come out of this, on the brighter side and with lots of questions when people are finally ready to go out. I still feel like there will be a big percentage, that will still choose to do virtual, showings to simply just save time. So whether we can go out or not, I think, there's going to be definitely a positive technology swing in the way we do real estate transactions nowadays. Great. So moving forward, let's talk about, so open houses. Are still open houses a big no?
In our market, open houses are pretty much forbidden. You can do a virtual open house, and our MLS even allows you to post a virtual open house, but that just means it's being done online. So don't get in your car, don't drive over there, and no one's going to let you in.
I know. Stay home, everybody. So I feel like, with now the market shifting, there's definitely going to be a lot of supply and demand. And, they're both key considerations for anything. I've seen, a lot of listings come on the market, but I also have seen buyers kind of put a hold and, kind of put the brakes on. What can we say a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, interestingly, I will say that from everything I've heard and read, the number of new buyers putting in mortgage applications has been down. In fact, in Orange County, it was down about 16% in the last week or so. So obviously that does indicate that buyers are putting a pause while we're in the middle of such a dynamic experience. On the flip side, the number of refinance applications is skyrocketing. So any of my clients that have been trying to do some sort of refinance, some of them got in there and got lucky and got it done before all of this madness happened. But I do have others that are trying to. And I will say that some of them have been a bit frustrated because they're not getting 100% of the attention that they would like to get. But from all accounts, talking to lenders, they're bogged down. Their interest rates are very low, obviously, with the Fed having slashed their target rate. And at the same time, when that happened, that did cause interest rates to go down. But they have been all over the place. They've been up, they've been down. If you went in 2 weeks ago, the rates may have been higher than you were hoping for. There have been points where they've come down, but if you're not ready to go with your refinance package or your purchase package, the rates have been swinging so wildly, you could miss that window and then the rate could go up. So refinance applications are up, purchase applications are down. And that's just a reflection of the fact that people are not able to get out there and look at as many properties and make those, they're not really.
Everyone's still adjusting at the same time. So, but I still feel like, buyers are still out. My buyers are still solid. Yes, they're putting a hold, but they're solid. They have a list of homes they will want to see once all, they are able to go out. And I feel like there will be a big supply. I hope so. I hope sellers still go out there and take this time to be like, you know what, if we've been sitting on this for so long, now is the time.
I I just to obviously,
No, what's your opinion? I'd love to, please.
well, this is just an opinion, but obviously unemployment has skyrocketed, and we're going to have to wait and see how this all plays out. Hopefully it won't be as bad as it has been forecasted on the, the worst end of the spectrum. Obviously, when there's a lot of unemployment, that does make it harder for people to achieve their goal of buying a home because it's harder to get a loan. I hope for everybody's sake that, unemployment wise, first, I just want everybody to have some gainful employment and that we come out of this all stronger. But the reality is it is going to be harder for some people to get loans. The people
What about mortgages right now? Is there some sort of mortgage, relief?
Yeah. So Governor Newsom did announce that most of the big banks here in California, as well as hundreds of other smaller banks, are going to be offering homeowners the chance to have a 90-day grace period. I don't know all the terms of that. I have tried to look into it, and some of my clients have looked into it as well. One key point that I posted about on Facebook is that if you are trying to find out what's being offered, you need to go to your mortgage servicer. So not necessarily the person that helped you get the loan when you bought the house. It's got to be the servicer who's sending you your bills every month. That's the company that you're going to be dealing with. They are also bogged down right now. My own lender, I looked at their website and it said you may not even hear back for 2 weeks. So you got to be patient, but you do have to initiate if you want that information. And as a side note, what I was reading this morning, that because of all of this, and obviously in tough times, people do try to take advantage, there has been an uptick on the number of scammers that are trying to help so-called distressed homeowners. So if you get some sort of a call from somebody claiming that they're from your bank, really you shouldn't give out personal information. Yeah, you should contact your bank directly and initiate and tell them that you're looking for more information, but don't take it off of somebody that's just calling you because they could be trying to get information that they are not privileged to have.
Absolutely. And just be very careful when you're out there and answering those calls. You're definitely right. I could only imagine they're out there trying to take advantage of our poor sellers. Yeah. Well, anything else you'd like to mention? I'd really like to stay on, give our buyers and sellers some hope. What else can we look forward to as far as, real estate in general during this time? We're always here to answer your questions, guys. So definitely leave us comments or questions you'd like to talk about. Holly.
Yeah,
what
definitely.
Else would you like to mention?
I do think that the spring market is still going to be here. I think it's just going to hit later than normal.
Hopefully summertime.
Yeah, I do think that after being stuck at home in a quarantine, you're either going to love your house to pieces or you're going to want to get out. I can tell you that personally, we have a little one and we have 3 levels of stairs. I'm done.
You need to get out. Yeah.
Yeah. So if after all of this, if we're able to, we are planning to look at homes ourselves. But at the moment, it is a strange environment where we're supposed to be at home as much as possible. So take advantage of those virtual tours. So it is a great tool to use. And you could always drive by houses if you want to just get out and get a little bit of fresh air just to see the neighborhood.
No, absolutely. And then, like you said, we will even go, if you want a live virtual, we'll FaceTime you. If you saw some picture that wasn't, clear enough or something, you had more questions, please let us know. We'll go out there for you and, take a look together, I guess you could say, virtually.
Yeah. And I would say if you're a seller and you are hoping to sell this year, if that's one of your goals, this is a great time, like Lina said, to do that spring cleaning. We have so much time on our hands right now. Get your house ready. If you want tips as to what would make the most impact in selling and getting top dollar, you don't want us to come to your houses, we can still virtual tour with you. You can show us around, point out like, what about this light fixture? Or what about that, flaking paint, whatever it is. We can tell you what sort of projects you can work on. Home repair people are still working. And if you're willing to have them in your house, they can actually help you with repairs, or if you're handy, you can do it yourself. Home Depot is still open, Lowe's is still
Yeah.
open. So
Yep.
those are things you can focus on so that you can feel like you have a little bit of control in this very crazy time.
Yes, absolutely. I think we've talked about a lot today. I'm actually very hopeful. And like you said, you either come out of this loving your home or hating it. So we're ready for both sides of the spectrum, guys. We're ready to take those in and help you, move on and move forward or move in even. So
Yeah.
let us
Oh,
go ahead.
one last tip. Sorry to cut you
Of
off.
course.
For
Not at all.
buyers, yes, if you're thinking about buying a home too, and that's your goal this year, I would advise that you get in touch with a lender. We can connect you with some great ones. You need to start getting your financial package ready. We expect, and obviously we don't have a crystal ball, but we do expect that there is going to be a lot more inventory available once we get past this. And if you want a shot at that, you want to get in and have all of your ducks in a row so that you can make those offers and be aggressive and have a good position. So get your stuff ready. That way, when you're ready to pull the trigger, the lender has your file up ready. The sellers are going to respect your offer because they're going to know that you've been well vetted. You just want to be in a strong position while you have the chance.
Absolutely.
Take advantage of this.
And you don't want to miss that window. Like you said, you can start application of a loan today. It takes a little bit by the time you get your paperwork and all that stuff. So be ahead of the curve, I guess. You're either with the shift or with us. So no one's left behind, guys. You heard it right here on Orange County's Real Estate at Hot 30. Holly, thank you so much. Any last little things you want to add?
Just everybody out there, please stay home, do your part, stay healthy. For everybody that's been helping with this situation, thank you so much. We appreciate everything that you're doing. If you have any questions in the meantime, this is a great time to ask them. We are here and available via FaceTime, via email, text, whatever the case may be.
Yes.
Let us know how we can help.
Absolutely. And we will see you next week. Thank you for watching Orange County's Real Estate at Hot 30. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.